Step into the wild with a compilation of 60 hair-raising bear encounters gone awry. Witness horrifying attacks, heart-stopping moments on hiking trails, and foolish individuals tempting fate by taunting these powerful creatures. Brace yourself for a gripping journey through the dangers of the Bear Kingdom, reminding us of nature's unforgiving reality. The video begins with the driver trying his best to navigate a very rocky dirt road in the middle of the forest. Little did he know that this would become the least of his worries after something shocking and terrifying happened. Thankfully, being inside the vehicle saved him from the vicious attack of the predator. The beginning of this encounter shows a hunter carefully waiting for the right moment to strike when all of a sudden he becomes the hunted instead. Any average person would immediately panic in this situation, but for this hunter, it's just another opportunity to shoot. The intense face-to-face finally ends after the bear runs away after being shot. What was supposed to be a quick boat ride through a river suddenly becomes a nightmare for these tourists after this happens. Nursing bears are highly protective of their cubs, displaying aggressive behavior towards perceived threats to ensure their offspring's safety. The speed they are currently traveling manages to save them from the attack. Picture yourself attempting to get home on a snowy day when suddenly you spot something hurtling toward you. In brief bursts, bears can reach speeds of up to 30 miles per hour, showcasing impressive agility and strength when provoked. No doubt this driver will exercise greater caution passing through that region now. Consider the horror of being held by criminals. Now envision the dread if an apex predator robs you instead. Feeding bears can familiarize them with humans, resulting in aggression, property destruction, and risky interactions. However, what recourse is there when a bear snatches your snacks? A small group of hunters can be seen trying their best to remain calm after their search is suddenly stopped by a noise coming from the trees. After a few minutes of intense waiting, their most feared nightmare comes true after something extremely horrifying comes out from the trees. Fortunately for them, the predator decides to change direction at the last minute, leaving them unharmed. Videos like these make you think about how some people manage to survive this long, despite being so stupid. Approaching bears can provoke defensive or aggressive reactions, increasing the risk of injury or death, as they may perceive humans as threats. Things would have been a lot worse for her if the bear was just a little bit more aggressive. What would you do if you were out walking your dog at night and you saw a terrifying and hungry predator following you? The girl can be seen running as fast as she can while still managing to keep her dog by her side after she realizes they are being followed. One thing's for sure, she isn't going to be walking her dog anytime soon. A crowd can be seen observing a man taking every step he makes as an apex predator follows him. The crowd, eagerly watching what will happen next, eventually gets a horrifying answer, making their excitement turn to fear.
We're glad it's not us the bear is behind.
Let's go.
Sir, go ahead and leave the trail.
The bear suddenly stops chasing him and decides to leave him alone instead. A photographer out in the forest, just trying to take pictures of the scenery, is unexpectedly put in a dangerous position after something terrifying decides to visit him. The predator can be seen cautiously approaching him while he tries his best to remain calm in order not to scare or agitate the bear. He then decides to spray the predator with pepper spray lightly, making it run away immediately. This next encounter features another photographer taking pictures in the wild, getting in a face-to-face encounter with a curious and dominant bear. Bears may stand up when aggressive to appear larger and more intimidating, asserting dominance and warning potential threats to back off. The bear then decides to leave him alone after failing to get a reaction out of the photographer. A man can be seen recording himself approaching a bear. Things quickly get out of hand, though, as soon as this happens. Approaching a bear can provoke defensive behavior, leading to aggression or attack, as bears may perceive humans as threats to themselves or their territory. Even after getting charged, the man still doesn't stop bothering the bear, possibly even after the video ends. What would you do if a bear chased you while you were out jogging, like what happens in this shocking video? Bears can run at speeds of up to 35 miles per hour, showcasing impressive agility and speed, particularly over short distances. Fortunately for this guy, the bear was friendly enough to eat his ice cream instead of him. The beginning of the video shows a hunter patiently waiting for prey to show itself, but all of a sudden he encounters another hunter instead. This leads to a terrifying stare-down between man and beast. The whole encounter is honestly something that you should watch for yourself. It just goes to show that not all hunters are trigger-happy people that shoot animals. This encounter starts intensely, with a large grizzly bear chasing a terrified man in an open field. If a bear chases you, try to remain calm, avoid running in a straight line, make yourself appear larger, and use deterrents like bear spray if available. Unfortunately, what happens next remains unknown as the video ends abruptly. A hiker can be seen trying his best to remain calm after coming across a large predator walking on the same trail.
Stay there, Barry. Don't follow us. Don't come towards us. I don't want to use my bear spray.
Despite the terrifying situation he is in, he manages to keep his composure, knowing that panicking will do no good.
Good boy. That's a good boy. Crap, he's huge.
Fortunately, the bear decides to go around him, leaving him unharmed. Upon awakening, a construction vehicle operator is startled by a hungry predator attempting to reach him from outside.
Миша, привет! Миша, куда ты, куда?
Rather than promptly driving away, the operator opts to record the startling encounter.
Я знаю, что голодный.
Осторожно. Иди домой. Красавчик.
After a few minutes, the bear loses interest and departs, leaving the operator unharmed. Watch this video to understand why it's crucial to lock your car doors even in a secure neighborhood. Parked cars can lure bears due to potential food or appealing scents, prompting them to explore. The owner of this vehicle is fortunate not to have been inside during this incident. At the beginning of this encounter, a cage containing a large grizzly bear can be seen slowly lifting its door. What was supposed to be a wholesome release of a wild animal into the wilderness suddenly becomes nightmare fuel after this happens. Hopefully the cage was remotely operated, as the bear damaged that enclosure very badly. Understanding why individuals willingly expose themselves to such hazards despite knowing the risks baffles me.
Jesus. Oh, God. Oh, God.
Grizzly bears possess extraordinary strength in their limbs, jaws, and bodies, enabling them to hunt, defend, and manipulate their environment effectively. Considering the immense strength of grizzly bears, it's astonishing that the flimsy cage endured. A man decides to record two bears chasing each other in front of him, when all of a sudden one of the predators takes an interest in him.
Hey! You get back! Get on out of here. That's fine.
The man immediately raises his voice and readies his pepper spray to scare the bears away or fight back if things get heated. The animals seem to have gotten his warning and decide to ignore him afterward. This family can be seen being left with no choice but to remain frozen as they wait for their dangerous picnic crasher to finish eating. If a bear attempts to steal your food, calmly back away, avoid confrontation, and allow the bear to take the food to prevent escalation or aggression. It is unknown how this encounter ends as the clip cuts short. This construction worker's lunch break suddenly becomes a scare show after an unexpected guest decides to visit him. Feeding bears disrupts their natural behavior, habituates them to human presence, and increases the risk of dangerous encounters, jeopardizing human and bear safety. The predator can still be seen in the video, but the person decides to cut the video short. Life can be full of surprises, but I bet these locals didn't expect a bear to come into their city walking like nothing's out of the ordinary. The predator can be seen ignoring the people around it, making for a really fascinating yet still very terrifying sight to witness. It is unknown what happened to the bear, as the clip runs only for a few seconds. A driver is forced to stop in the middle of the road and pull out his phone to record a female bear walking along the sidewalk with its cubs.
Hi, buddy.
The tense encounter shows the predator carefully approaching the driver when all of a sudden it decides to do something shocking. After the jump scare, the driver then proceeds to drive away unharmed. If I ever see the interior of my car trashed similar to the outcome of a robbery, this would be the last thing I'd expect to see on the security footage. To deter bears from being attracted to cars, remove any food, trash, or scented items from your vehicle and use bear-proof containers or storage solutions for food and waste. Thankfully, no one was inside the car while the bear robbery happened. What was supposed to be a fun group hike suddenly turns upside down after a black bear decides to join the group. The predator can be seen closely investigating the hikers, and we all know that wild animals are highly unpredictable. Thanks to them keeping their calm, the black bear gets bored and leaves. Picture this. You're hiking in a stunning forest, and all of a sudden you see this coming your way.
You're back to it. Just keep going. Doing great. Hey, bear. Hey, bear.
If a bear walks towards you while hiking, stay calm, make yourself appear larger, speak calmly, back away slowly, and avoid sudden movements or direct eye contact.
Back to it. He's really pretty, isn't he?
He really is, yes.
Just calm down.
He's a beautiful.
Just watch your footing.
The hiker decides to cut the video short, and what happens next is still unknown. This next video shows pure terror. Keep watching, as it is similar to a scene taken from a terrifying thriller movie. If I saw this man-eating looking bear staring right at me, I would probably forget everything I'm supposed to do when encountering bears. This hiker must have incredible courage not to panic on the spot after seeing that. A camp in the middle of the forest is suddenly put into disaster mode after a grizzly bear wanders in and does this. Camps attract bears because they often contain food, trash, or scented items that bears perceive as potential sources of food, prompting them to investigate for sustenance. Remember, all you have to do is not be the slowest to survive a bear chase. A man recording himself hunting with bow and arrow slows down after seeing a large predator walking in his direction. After the animal gets too close for comfort, he decides to ready his bow, only for something horrifying to happen. Miraculously, he manages to scare the bear away without suffering serious injuries. This next video, taken from CCTV footage, shows a young grizzly bear being overly curious, attempting to open these parked cars. At first, the young predator can be seen having a hard time opening the doors, but after moving its attention to the pickup truck, this happens. If you don't want bears invading your cars, make sure not to leave bear treasure inside. The clip begins with a cameraman recording two guys walking on a trail in the middle of a dense forest. Moments later, a black bear unexpectedly emerges from the bushes. If you think this is already a bad situation, wait until you see what happens next.
Buddy!
Whoa!
Whoa!
Honestly, I would be sweating too if I saw a bear staring at me. A hunter in a tree stand, after a bear wandered directly right underneath him, decides to make light of his situation by doing this. Black bears are excellent climbers, capable of ascending trees quickly and efficiently to escape danger, forage for food, or seek shelter. Imagine if the predator got pissed enough to chase him up the tree he's in. A group of men can be seen camping on top of a roof after a bear attacked their village. Moments later, something terrifying happens. The group immediately scatters in different directions, desperately running to try and escape the chasing predator. Unfortunately, the clip cuts short, and what happens next is still unknown. While riding his ATV on a road situated in the middle of a forest, this unlucky adventurer suddenly comes across an unfortunate sight. Trying to prevent being harmed, he uses his vehicle as cover. Fortunately for him, this works and scares the bear away.
Ciao bello.
The predator ponders going after him again, but ultimately decides to leave. Two hunters camping in a tree stand are suddenly thrown into the middle of a terrifying black bear battle, leading to this happening. If a bear climbs a tree you're in, remain calm, avoid sudden movements, and slowly descend from the tree once the bear has moved away. Thankfully, the bear descended from the tree without harming anyone. Imagine camping in the middle of the woods and waking up to an apex predator already thinking of you as its breakfast. This is precisely what's happening in this video, with the camper already having his bear spray ready, preparing for the worst to come. What would you do if you were in this situation? If you see a mother bear with cubs, give them space. Avoid startling or threatening them and calmly back away. The man who got placed in this exact scenario, though, decided to do everything that you should not do when encountering a nursing bear. Videos like this show how some people deserve to be taught a lesson. Watch this next video and tell us what you think you would do if you were put in the same situation as this man.
Пропустишь нас? Хотим пройти. Не хочешь? Ну тогда мы и пойдем обратно.
With no other way but backward, I don't think it would be a stretch to say that running back to where you came from is the best idea. Thankfully, the bear was not interested in him, ending the encounter peacefully. In this video, a woman records herself talking to the camera, explaining the nature and behavior of a black bear she encountered in the wild. Approaching the bear closely while talking about it, she eventually gets too close for the bear's comfort, leaving it no choice but to do this.
That is insane. Stay away from me. There he goes. That is a bluff charge, people. Now watch this.
Remember that no matter the circumstances, starting a fight with a bear is never a good idea. This supposedly fun group hike unexpectedly turns into a thriller movie scene after a terrifying predator in the woods decides to do this.
Hey, stay back! Hey!
The people in the background can be heard screaming, but luckily for them, this woman held her ground very well.
Back! Back! No! No!
The predator finally leaves the hikers alone after failing to scare everyone. A hunter staying in a tree stand attached to a large tree decides to pull out his phone and record a bear walking towards him. After getting close, the predator notices him in the tree and unfortunately lets its instincts take over. I would have jumped out of that tree in a heartbeat if that ever happened to me. If you think the traffic in your city is bad, imagine getting held up in traffic and this decides to show up. You think their situation can't get any worse? Think again, as moments later it is revealed that the grizzly bear is traveling with cubs. A grizzly bear is already terrifying in and of itself, but a mama grizzly with cubs? That's a different story. A crew of trail experts can be seen screaming and squaring up to a bear standing right in front of them in an attempt to scare it away. Despite the combined efforts of everyone to scare the predator, it decides to charge instead, leading to this spine-chilling confrontation. Unfortunately, in this encounter, it had to be them or the bear. An average person encountering a bear on the road while driving would immediately speed up to avoid any trouble, but for this Russian man, encountering a bear in the middle of the road is just something worth stopping for.
Я тебя понимаю, конечно, уже. Я тебя очень хорошо понимаю.
Although intense, the interaction between the bear and the man remains peaceful. A man staying in the Great Smoky Mountains decides to record himself encountering a black bear with 2 cubs walking down the road.
Nice bear. Nice bear. Nice bear.
The mother bear decides to ignore the person, giving him a sigh of relief. Unfortunately for him, the cubs proceed to do the opposite. He immediately goes inside his home after what happened, ending the encounter unharmed. This driver decides to stop on the side of the road and record a bear sitting hilariously. Things remain lighthearted at first, but things quickly take a dark turn after the bear decides to approach their car and do this.
T'as vu comment il est arrivé en courant ou pas?
The clip ends abruptly, presumably due to the panic caused by the predator. Tourists recording bears walking near the river manage to capture something incredible yet terrifying happening on camera. Bears fight with brutal force, using size, strength, and sharp claws to defend territory, establish dominance, or protect offspring. The chances of a human living after fighting a bear are close to 0. A man can be seen recording himself riding the river while bears menacingly stare at him and his crew nearby.
What is that right there?
If they wanted to, the predators in the video could easily catch up to them, as bears are surprisingly good swimmers. Thankfully, the predators decide to ignore them and let them pass safely. After getting held up in traffic, this driver decides to look out his window to see what's causing the jam, only to see this. Black bears can be dangerous if threatened, surprised, or if they perceive humans as a source of food, but attacks are rare. The driver then decides to go around the truck, ending the video. Imagine minding your own business while hiking, only to see this terrifying animal stalking you from the top of a hill. Running from a black bear can trigger its predatory instinct. Instead, remain calm, Back away slowly and avoid direct eye contact. The clip cuts short, though, leaving what happened next unknown. After two cubs wander into the middle of the road, a minor traffic jam is formed, allowing for this frightening but entertaining interaction.
Пацаны, вы вообще прикол. Вот это вот я бы не стал бы делать. Я поэтому и закрыл себе форточку.
It's advised to assume a mother bear is nearby if you see bear cubs, as she may aggressively protect her offspring. In this case, though, it seems like the cubs were left on their own. The video begins with a person recording a large grizzly bear along with its two cubs walking in his direction. The family decides to ignore him, but instead of leaving the family of bears alone, he proceeds to do this instead. Following bears is always discouraged, no matter what the situation is. At the beginning of this encounter, a construction worker being recorded by his friend can be seen luring in a terrifying grizzly bear. As if luring in an apex predator is not scary enough, the man then decides to do something shocking, leaving his buddy holding his breath.
Красавец, Саня, красавец.
The predator then leaves peacefully after eating all the food. A family driving into their driveway after a lunch out suddenly finds themselves stuck inside their car after this happens. Impressively, the large predator manages to open the garage door, grabbing the trash from inside afterward.
By his mouth.
Damn it! Should I just beat the horn?
Yes.
No! Come on!
It is still being determined what happens next, as the video cuts short. Sloth bears can be dangerous if provoked or surprised, but they typically avoid confrontations with humans, and attacks are rare. When encountering sloth bears, remain calm, avoid sudden movements, back away slowly, and give them space to retreat without feeling threatened. Thankfully, this interaction managed to remain calm throughout. Driving on the road with a bear following you is terrifying, but who knew that it could also be this beautiful? Of course, it is still important to remember that staying out of nature's way is the only foolproof way to remain safe from bear attacks. The clip ends with the driver finally leaving after getting enough footage. Two young bears can be seen running around the property of an unknowing homeowner in a quiet neighborhood. The security footage shows the predators carefully exploring the area while also looking for food to scavenge. Thankfully, no one was harmed during this shocking raid. Homeowners can be heard panicking in the background after a black bear decides to invade their backyard. If this wasn't terrifying enough, 4 cubs hiding in the bushes decide to reveal themselves after a go signal from their mother.
There's a little bear! There's cubs! 2 cubs! 2 cubs! 3 cubs! 4 cubs!
Fortunately, they were inside their homes, or things could have gotten bad quickly.